Bose, a brand that's been doing audio for decades. TOZO, a name that's been quietly dominating Amazon's budget category for the past few years. Both portable speakers claim to be waterproof, portable, and punchy enough for outdoor use. But one costs 4 times more than the other, and that gap isn't small enough to ignore. So the real question isn't which speaker has better specs on paper. It's whether Bose's premium engineering actually translates to something you can hear, feel, and justify, or if TOZO figured out how to deliver 80% of the experience at 25% of the cost. Let's find out. Sound quality is where most people expect Bose to run away with this, and honestly, they're not wrong. The SoundLink Micro delivers surprisingly powerful sound for its size. Crisp mids, vocals that sit forward in the mix, and bass that's genuinely impressive given how small this thing is. You can tweak EQ settings through the Bose app, adjusting bass, treble, and mid-levels however you want. That level of control matters if you're picky about how your music sounds. The TOZO PE1 describes itself as having punchy bass audio. And look, it's not lying, but it's also not competing in the same league. The bass is there, it's present, but it lacks the depth and clarity Bose delivers. Mids sound a bit compressed, and at higher volumes things start to get muddier than you'd like. For casual listening at a picnic or in the shower, it's perfectly fine. For anyone who actually cares about audio fidelity, the difference is noticeable within seconds. Bose wins on sound. Not even close. But let's talk about battery life because this is where things flip. The SoundLink Micro gives you up to 12 hours on a full charge, double what the first generation offered. That's a full day of listening, which is solid for most people's needs. The TOZO PE1, 32 hours. Yeah, you read that right. Nearly 3 times what Bose offers. You can take this thing on a weekend camping trip and not think about charging once. That's a meaningful advantage if you're actually using a speaker outdoors regularly, away from outlets and power banks. Bose improved their battery over the previous version, but TOZO just demolished them on endurance. Durability and water resistance is where both speakers try to prove they're adventure-ready. The SoundLink Micro is IP67 rated. That's dust and waterproof, shock and rust resistant. You can drop it, get it wet, drag it through sand. Bose designed this thing to take a beating and keep playing. The TOZO PE1 goes a step further with IPX8 waterproof certification. That means full submersion in water up to 1 meter deep for 30 minutes without damage. You could literally drop this in a pool, fish it out later, and it'll be fine. For shower use, beach trips, or kayaking, that extra waterproofing matters more than you'd think. Both speakers are tough, but TOZO's rating is objectively better for wet environments. Portability comes down to how you actually carry these things around. The SoundLink Micro has this improved utility strap with a rubberized texture. You can clip it to a bag, wrap it around bike handlebars, or just hold it in your palm. It's 3.98 by 3.98 by 1.37 inches and weighs about 10 ounces. Genuinely pocketable if you've got bigger pockets. The TOZO PE1 measures 129 by 90 by 44 millimeters, roughly similar size, maybe slightly bulkier. But here's what's clever. They redesigned the carabiner and integrated it directly into the speaker body instead of using a separate strap. There's one less point of failure, one less thing to tear or break. You clip it to a belt loop or backpack strap and forget about it. Both approaches work, but TOZO's integrated design feels more durable long-term. Connectivity is pretty straightforward on both. The SoundLink Micro uses Bluetooth with an extended range up to 30 feet and improved bandwidth over older versions. Pairing is instant, like genuinely instant. You can also link 2 SoundLink Micro speakers together for stereo mode or party mode if you want bigger sound. That's useful if you already own one and want to expand. The TOZO PE1 runs Bluetooth 5.4, which gives you a stable connection and better transmission reliability. It's got a built-in mic for hands-free calling, same as the Bose. You can't pair 2 TOZO speakers together for stereo, though. That feature just doesn't exist. If multi-speaker pairing matters to you, Bose is the only option here. Build quality shows the price difference pretty clearly. The SoundLink Micro feels premium in your hand. Solid materials, clean design, buttons that click with satisfying resistance. Everything about it screams, this cost real money to engineer. Customer reviews consistently mention durability, with people praising the tear-resistant strap and how well it holds up over time. The TOZO PE1 feels fine. It's plastic, it's functional, it doesn't feel cheap exactly, but it also doesn't feel expensive. That integrated carabiner is genuinely smart design, and the build is solid enough for the price point. But put them side by side and you can immediately tell which one costs more just by holding them. App support is a Bose exclusive here. The Bose app lets you update firmware, adjust EQ settings, create shortcuts, and manage paired devices. It's genuinely useful if you want control over your sound. TOZO doesn't have an app. What you get is what you get. Some people will appreciate the simplicity. Others will miss the customization. Here's what TOZO does better than expected. Charging speed. It uses USB-C and charges noticeably faster than the Bose. That 32-hour battery is great, but even when you do need to top it off, you're not waiting around all afternoon. That's a small thing that matters when you're actually using it. And here's where Bose stumbles. You're paying premium money for a speaker that maxes out at 12 hours of battery. That's fine for most people, but it's not industry-leading anymore. For the price they're charging, you'd expect closer to 20 hours minimum. Alright, verdict time. Let's talk about what you're actually paying for. The Bose SoundLink Micro costs $130. The TOZO PE1 costs $30. That's a $100 gap for what amounts to better sound quality, app control, and the ability to pair multiple speakers. Everything else, battery life, waterproofing, portability, either goes to TOZO or it's basically a wash. So who wins? Depends what you're optimizing for. If you care about audio quality above everything else, if you can actually hear the difference between good sound and decent sound, if you want control over EQ settings, if you're building a Bose ecosystem by the SoundLink Micro, it sounds noticeably better. It's built to last a decade, and Bose's reputation is earned. It's the better speaker for anyone who takes their audio seriously. But for most people watching this, the TOZO PE1 is the smarter buy. You're getting 32 hours of battery, IPX8 waterproofing, a cleverly designed carabiner system, and sound quality that's good enough for outdoor use, all at $30. That's legitimately impressive value. The SoundLink Micro is the winner if you judge purely on performance and sound quality. It's the superior product. But the TOZO PE1 wins on value so decisively that it's hard to recommend Bose to anyone who isn't specifically chasing premium audio. If you've got $130 to spend and you care deeply about how your music sounds, buy the Bose. If you've got $30 and you just want a reliable speaker that works everywhere and lasts forever on a charge, buy the TOZO. And honestly, most people are going to be happier with the TOZO and an extra $100 in their pocket. If you've made up your mind, I've put links in the description for both the Bose SoundLink Micro and the TOZO PE1. If you enjoyed the comparison, consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.